Some paths are not chosen, they choose us. Some journeys do not begin with a map, but with a silent call from the soul. Perhaps you did not arrive here by accident. Perhaps there is something within you that already remembers. Close your eyes for a few moments. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to enter this space, not only with your mind, but with your heart. When I traveled across France toward the south, I believed I was simply taking a journey. Yet some places hold ancient memories, and some landscapes seem to watch us in silence, as if waiting for the exact moment of our awakening. With every road, every village, every golden sky of Provence, something within me slowly began to open. It was not merely beauty, it was presence. There is a kind of silence that does not empty us, it reveals us. And it was within that silence that the crossing began. Southern France carries a vibration that is difficult to explain. The light touches the landscape differently. Time seems to slow down. The ancient stones, the sacred paths, the fragrance of the earth, the movement of the sea. Everything seems to preserve fragments of a forgotten memory. Little by little, I came to understand. The true journey was never outward. Perhaps you too have felt this at some point in your life. The feeling that there is something beyond routine, beyond the noise, beyond everything the world asks of you. An invisible calling, a subtle remembrance, as though the soul were whispering, there is another path, and perhaps this is the beginning of it. There are stories that remain alive through the centuries, not merely because they have been told, but because they continue to awaken consciousness. Mary Magdalene carries such a presence, a silent force, free, profound, transformative, and along the sacred paths of Provence, that presence still seems to pulse in the winds, in the mountains, within the caves, and in the silence. This is not merely the story of a journey. It is an invitation, a return, an inner crossing. And this is only the first doorway, the initiatic path of Mary Magdalene, the code of sacred awakening. There are no coincidences. I began writing this book on November 16th, 2025, the feast day of Saint Margaret. What if the journey of Mary Magdalene were not merely history, but a living call? Between the mystical sea of Saintes-Maries-de-la-Mer, where Saint Sarah rests, and the sacred silence of the cave hidden within the Sainte-Baume mountains, this work reveals far more than a travel narrative. It is a portal, traveling through southern France in a state of presence. The author discovers that every step holds hidden codes, ancestral memories, and spiritual activations connected to the sacred. This book is not meant only to be read, it is meant to be felt. Throughout these pages, you will encounter intuitive spiritual revelations, the initiatic power of sacred places, real experiences of transformation, and the awakening of an inner power long forgotten. If you feel that something greater is calling your soul, perhaps this book is the sign you have been waiting for. At the end of the journey, you will find space for your own reflections, your own insights. I embrace the great adventure of being myself, leaving our comfort zone. Stepping away from familiar routines and environments is essential for personal growth. It invites us to face new challenges, which become opportunities for learning, self-discovery, and transformation. Whenever we choose something new, we often encounter uncertainty, discomfort, fear, speaking in public, beginning a new project, learning something unfamiliar, moving to another city, another country, or traveling alone. Do what you fear, and fear begins to dissolve. No one can awaken for you. Yet, if you encounter someone deeply conscious and spend time in their presence, your own awakening may be gently accelerated, and when that happens, the process can unfold with grace. Several years ago, during a profound meditative state, I received the call of Mary Magdalene. At a time when I was seeking emotional healing, I felt surrounded by her loving presence. From that moment on, many signs began to appear, signs that comforted me, signs that encouraged me to continue walking the path. I sought to learn more about this extraordinary woman, Mary Magdalene. Yet I encountered many contradictory accounts, and so I chose to follow my own intuition, to return to my inner research, my spiritual exploration. This journey eventually led me to the sacred feminine, a path through which I was able to approach the subject more authentically. I came to understand that Mary Magdalene's journey was guided by love and devotion, and that her mission helped sustain and strengthen the feminine energy upon earth. One of the most meaningful signs appeared when I discovered a beautiful meditation entitled Mary Magdalene by the author Carlos Torres. In that meditation, he describes the ascent to the sacred cave in Provence, in the south of France, a place I had already visited years before. The moment I heard it, I felt an immediate confirmation in my heart, a recognition, a calling, and more signs continued to emerge during meditation, during healing sessions, and through unexpected synchronicities. The rose and the essential oil of spikenard played a particularly important symbolic and vibrational role throughout my journey. Several works also found their way to me. Among them, the Gospel, according to the beloved companion, as well as other spiritual writings and transmissions attributed to Mary Magdalene. And little by little, the path revealed itself. For when you begin to walk, the path appears. About the author, Daisy Bello is a pharmacist, author, Franco-Brazilian meditation teacher, consciousness researcher, and healthcare professional. With more than 27 years of international experience in pharmaceutical and hospital settings, she brings together science, spirituality, and human experience through a deeply integrative approach. Author of 2 international scientific publications, 10 presentations at French conferences, and 1 presentation at a Francophone Congress, Daisy has developed a unique vision that unites professional expertise, conscious presence, and inner awakening. A spiritual pilgrim and guardian of initiatory experiences, lived in states of profound presence. She has traveled through sacred sites and goddess vortexes around the world. After crossing France from north to south, she felt called to share not only a physical journey, but also a profound inner pilgrimage guided by the energy of Mary Magdalene. Her writing is inspired by direct experiences in sacred places, including Sainte-Maximin-la-Sainte-Baume, the Basilica, the Sacred Cave, and other sites where tradition, silence, and revelation converge. Through intuitive insight and heartfelt storytelling, Daisy transforms personal experiences into gateways for collective awakening. She is also the author of Inspirations. In Your Presence, You Illuminate the World, 2022, and Reconnecting with the Sacred Feminine, Returning to Your Essence, through Aromatic Plants, in 2023. Her mission is to inspire others to fully embrace the flow of life with consciousness, courage, authenticity, and a deep connection to the sacred. She invites every reader to awaken their own initiatic journey. And perhaps that journey begins now.